This is the Outlaw Sports Show.
My little special Outlaw Sports Talk.
With your host, Spurge.
I'm your guy, Spurge. You don't know what the hell I'm going to talk about. As you heard,
Unapologetic, raw.
Welcome to the show. Apparently our StreamYard updated, so this old man just doesn't know what to do. But you see, we are on air tonight with the Outlaw Sports Talk Show. And seeing again, this is the old man. This is when I need to start taking notes and learn how to take notes better. This young man reminded me, he's like, hey, are we still doing our show tonight? And I'm like, oh crap, you're right. It didn't ding on my calendar, but we are being joined by the Continental Football League Texas Syndicate quarterback, Mr. Jeremy Hunt. How are you, sir?
I'm doing well. How you doing?
Well, as you see, I'm old and I had a brain fart.
It's okay. No, it happens. It happens a lot.
Well, I think it might have been in my years of taking too many chair shots trying to play professional wrestler over the year.
Yeah, that might have caused it for sure.
Like, I think it might have. Has that ever happened to you? Have you ever had, you're playing football. Has that ever happened to you?
I have had a time, and I was really young. I think I was 11 or 12, where I got hit and definitely just saw stars, and it was one of those cartoon little.
Yeah, no, see, I was doing this at 23, 24 years old, where I was just letting people hit me in the head with chairs just for the fun of it.
Oh, yeah, no, I can't say that I've gotten there yet in my life where I just want people to hit me with chairs. But then again, I do play football, so it's almost.
Yeah, you're kind of begging for it, right?
Yeah, but that is why I play quarterback though, because it's still a little different.
Is it really though? Did you watch the NFL this week? There's a lot of quarterbacks that took some nasty hits.
Well, I think we need to learn how to slide, get out of bounds, and realize that they're trying to come kill us. And
right. Okay.
Talking about
taking terrible shots, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Other than the one when you were 12 years old where you saw the stars like you did in Tom and Jerry. Do you remember Tom and Jerry as a kid?
I do. I used to love Tom and Jerry.
Right. You remember when Jerry would hit him with the mallet or something, or the Roadrunner and Wile E. Coyote? Other than being 12, what is the worst hit that you've taken in your career?
I would have to say my freshman year of college when I was at Central Missouri. It was a QB run, ran up the middle, met the linebacker head on. He was 240, 6'2", 240. And I'm 6'3", 230. So we met head on, but he was a senior and I was a true retro freshman, so still young. And I remember getting up from that and walking back and just being confused. And luckily my coach could tell that I was a little confused, and he called a simple, one of our base run plays to the right, 24 to the right. And I remember going and standing behind the center and not snapping the ball because I realized I don't know which way this run is going. This is 24. This is our base, simple. Even,
right?
Odds to the left. I've known that since I was 6 years old. And I could not figure out what way the run was going. And I turned around to the running back and he pointed to the right. I was like, oh yeah. And I snapped it and handed the ball off. But yeah, that was, I think, probably one of the worst times where I got hit. And I really had no idea of just the next, just that moment. And after he told me which way it was going, it was everything snapped back. I was back to normal. But like, yeah, that was definitely one of
Well,
ones.
but right, what a lot of people don't realize is, see, I'm in St. Louis, Missouri.
Mm-hmm.
You possibly had one of the greatest games at Central Missouri State as a QB.
Yeah.
You do realize that, right?
Really? Which game?
Well, there was no game where you got the weekly honors where you threw over 400 yards and 4 touchdowns.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what game I'm talking about, right?
I do. That was a game. That was a really fun game, actually.
And so, like, I mean, that was one of those games that still lives on in Central Missouri, history. That game exposed people who don't remember that game, what game that was and who it was against and how it all transpired to that.
So I guess that was against Missouri Western.
Yep.
Yep, Missouri Western, and that was my second, actually my first start as a collegiate career. And so how it happened, let's go back 2 weeks earlier. Our starting quarterback has a season-ending injury.
Mm-hmm.
Gets hurt at the end of the game. Boom.
Mm-hmm.
We go the next week, and me and the other guy, we rotated reps and ended up winning player of the game for that week, and then winning the starting job. And then we played. Yep. Oh wow. Yeah. This is coming back. I haven't thought about this for a while. But then we played Missouri Western, and then that was the player of the week. 405, 4 touchdown.
Yeah. I mean, because it's funny because a lot of people don't really know who Central Missouri is.
No, they do not.
It's not, and it's literally just right down. It's literally an hour from me.
Yes.
Right down there in Union, Missouri.
Yeah, it's like right in the middle of like everything. It's so
right in the middle of town. Right in the middle of the town. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, you grew up in Oak Park, Illinois.
Yes, sir.
How in the hell does a kid from Oak Park, Illinois end up? Now, mind you, your school that you went to is more than the entire people of the town of Union, Missouri. Am I right or am I wrong?
No, yeah, it definitely was a really small town. Especially once you got to Warrensburg, it got a lot smaller. A lot smaller.
How does a kid from Oak Park, Illinois end up at Central Missouri?
Man, just the offers that I wanted, I didn't get, and then it just kind of ended up, they were kind of a last minute school. They kind of popped up last minute late, and I was like, let me, check this school out just to see.
Right.
And then when I went on a visit, I was like, there's nothing here, but like there's something here, and so it was just something about the town and even the guys that I was on the visit with, like that class that I came in with, like still like some of my like good friends like to this day, and like I have some of the best memories with them. But like it was just like it felt right, the best way to describe it. Like it definitely just felt right. So that's how I ended up, out there. And like it was crazy because like there were 2 other quarterbacks that they was with that class, and like I was technically 3rd on the depth chart coming in.
You were. I mean, as much as I hate to say it, you were, because you were such a last.
No, like I was like rightfully like I was the last person, like rightfully so.
So like, what did the family say? You're like, I'm going from Oak Park, Illinois, suburb of Chicago.
Yeah.
To a town of Union, Missouri that maybe has what? 10,000 people if they're lucky on a good day? I mean, something like that?
I think they're up to 15 now.
They might be, maybe. I don't know what the last census.
I Haven't thought about that place in a while.
But what was it like when you told your parents, "Hey, I'm going to this"? As us St. Louisans, no, you don't say this, but I'll say this. Us St. Louisans, to us, Union is this little bitty small hick town, right? So, like, how do you explain to your parents, "Hey, I'm going from Oak Park, Illinois, to this little bitty hick town"? How do you explain that to them?
Actually, it's kind of funny because they were with me on my visit, and it was like my mom knew, like she could tell, I think by how I felt about it, just a little bit, that she was like, "I think you like this place," and she was like, "Yeah, like there's nothing here, but if you like it, then then I like it." She was like, she just cared more about, is the education good, and are you going to be able to continue on with what you want to do, and which I was with communications and stuff like that. So that's all that she cared about. And then, my dad, honestly, the same. Like he was just, happy to be able to be there with me and have that kind of moment to be recruited. And, even though, well, I didn't know I was the third quarterback at the time, but I thought I was the guy that they wanted. So that was really fun too for that time being. So yeah, so they were like, as long as it makes sense with you. There were actually three guys that I went to high school with that had went there also. So it's kind of like like I had some people there that I was at least familiar with, and yeah, so they were like, as long as you're happy, then go on.
Now, what people don't realize, there's another game that you play. Okay.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you really realize that other game that you played is you guys played against, what was it, where you guys literally rolled the team 62-10? Missouri Southern.
Oh yeah, we did. That was the game before, huh?
Oh, what? Yes, that was the game. Yes, that was the game before where you guys rolled them.
Yep. Yeah, that was so I will say that was a collective effort between me and the other QB, because that was when we were rotating.
Yes.
But then, yeah, I think it was after halftime. That was when I kind of stayed in as like the starter and kept rolling and stuff. But yeah, no, those were great times. Like I remember really like just kind of being out there and like it was one of those, I didn't know what I didn't know until I realized I didn't know it. And at that time, though, everything was clicking and everything was perfect. So it was really great. No, it was a great time, because if you look, I think it was the game after that. It was 2 games. That was when, reality hit. And
I mean, let's really look at it. I mean, you actually, you were there. If I'm not mistaken, you were there for 1 year.
Yeah. Yep.
Right. Before you transferred. But in that year, you actually amassed a pretty decent season, almost 2,300 yards. I think you went and you were at like 19, 20 passing touchdowns, and I think like 6 or 7 interceptions off the top of my head, somewhere in that ballpark, right?
Yeah, something like that.
Right. Now, again, like I said, you played in Oak Park. You grew up in Oak Park, Illinois, suburb of Chicago, right?
Yeah.
Your high school games had probably more games than at Central. And I'm trying to build something here, right?
Okay. I'm with you.
This is not a knock on Central Missouri.
No, honestly, it was kind of the same. The crowds that we pulled were like the same. So it felt very familiar.
Okay. Well, see, now I would think Oak Park, you'd have a bigger crowd, because football in the Chicago area is synonymous along with baseball and all of that stuff, right? So you go from there, and then you're thinking, okay, I'm going to college. It's going to be big games, right? And then you go there and you're like, well, wait, this is just like high school. So, but what was that mindset like?
It was just like high school in a sense, and like big, like the crowds didn't like startle me or anything. I think one of the things a lot of people said was just how like it seemed like I was very comfortable, and like I was in a sense, because it was like, like the atmosphere isn't rattling me here, so it's like more of like just play ball. But there still was a difference going from that high school to college level, because even kind of like I was saying, like I really was out there winging it a lot of times, like just go 100%, and I know I have the arm to make every throw, so make the throw and kind of be a gunslinger. Like there was a lot of mistakes made, but it was also like don't even worry about it. Like next play, like just keep slinging it, keep shooting, keep going. And so there definitely was a little bit of an adjustment jump that like had to be made.
Was it because you were going from high school? I mean, look, again, Central Missouri State, it's still a good school. It's got a great program and all of that stuff.
Yeah, hey, the MIAA, I still say, was like a tough conference. Like
right,
we played really good teams in the MIAA. I definitely will say that.
Yeah, and you're playing against other college football players that are on the path that you're on to get to where you want to get, right?
Yeah.
So I would assume that you're like, okay, high school, at that time, you're a man among boys, right?
Oh, yeah. I thought I was.
But until you get to college, it's a totally different story, right?
Completely different.
So, like, what is, like, because I remember watching Zeke Elliott play. He played for John Burroughs. And he just happened to go to one of the schools that a friend of mine worked at. And he's like, hey, this kid Zeke Elliott's coming. You want to come watch him? I'm like, oh, hell yeah, And you watch him, he looks like a man among boys.
Yeah.
As the professional athlete, that's you. And then you come to where you're actually playing guys that are your size. Like, how does that work? And how does that affect the psyche?
Yeah, that definitely I think played a big part. Was like I'm at least the same size as them. Like I'm not as strong as them in any way, shape, or form. Like I don't have experience in them, but like if I'm the same size as them and I can just play, then like kind of that mentality. Like let's play ball. Like let's just go out there and sling it. Like there were some hits that I took where it was like, wow, like I need to get a much better rim protector. In which like I did and learned and grew with that. But then like there were some times where it was like, yeah, like I am big enough and strong enough to play this game. So I think for me at least, like it really did help, being the size that I was, because that was always something, oddly enough, that like when I was younger trying to play like with my friends, like we went by weight classes. So like I was always like too big or like on the border. So like I'd have to like lose weight and like I'd be like running laps before games and starving myself to make weigh in, and then finally eat like 3-4 PB&Js and then go play a game. So it was kind of one of those things where it was like I feel like at that moment like I really finally like appreciated like, oh yeah, like I am like as big as these guys, and I'm glad that I am bigger, because like I feel more comfortable playing this game. And like especially with these guys where I played against someone who was 28 and I was like 19 at the time.
Right. Yeah.
Took me for like like, wow, like he has 2 kids. I'm just trying to, I eat at the calf. Like he's trying to provide for his family, So
yeah, he's living somewhere in town or whatever.
Yeah.
Going to school and working or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like it helped, especially when taking those things into part. But yeah.
Yeah. Now you come from that. I mean, you're still a baby. No offense.
Yes, I am.
I mean, I'm 49. I'm 49. How old are you?
26.
Okay, you were the same age as my second oldest son. I have another son who is 29. So I could be your father.
Yes.
I mean, it's fine. I could be your father. But you came from this day and age of where these newer athletes that you're seeing, COVID. Where COVID has affected your guys' trajectory and some, a lot of guys' careers and playing time and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
So, because you did I think when you went to, what is it, Monroe?
Yeah, Monroe. Yeah, I went to Trinity Valley and then to Monroe.
Right, but you did it under the COVID waiver, correct?
No, so I had actually got to Monroe right as COVID happened,
Right,
right?
okay.
Yeah.
So explain to somebody that how, because like I talked to your OC Trey
Mm-hmm.
Harbison, right?
Yeah.
And talked about how did COVID affect Jeremy Hunt as the athlete? And like, what did that do to you?
Well, let's talk about that season. I played during that COVID like fall in 2020 because I was in the South. So we had a conference and like we played. So it was actually kind of a crazy experience. Like, and that was when we went what 0-10.
Mm-hmm.
Coach got fired, brought in a whole new head coach. It was just we had 2 COVID outbreaks on the team. We had 2 hurricanes go through Louisiana at that time. Like, so it was kind of like crazy. Like, I remember for our first game, we flew to play Army. And like, we only had like 36 guys like that were actually able to fly to the game like a week and a half before the game. It was insane. Like we were living in hotels and that ran out of power and it was it was crazy. So that COVID season was really kind of a eye opener changer for me. It really kind of tested how much I loved football, and how much I really cared about it. Just because we were losing and like I wasn't playing. And so it was like being honest, it was tough. And then, I ended up winning the job and ended up playing in the back half, like last 3 games of like the year. And then we had one more last outbreak to end the season. And then the season was over. And then like our head coach was fired and we found out from a press release and not even our head coach. And it was just like a whole ordeal. So, that COVID season kind of really was like, how much do you really love this sport? Like, I never got COVID, so I got the nose swab every week for that entire season. Like,
Wow. And you never got it.
never got it.
Wow.
Yeah. Pretty impressive.
That is impressive.
And like I was around people all the time that did get it. Like I'd be with them and then they take the test, they got it, I don't. Like it was crazy. Like I have no idea how. Developed allergies because of it though, so that sucks.
You developed allergies?
Mm-hmm.
What kind of hold on. How did you develop allergies after the COVID season?
Whatever membrane like that's up here that kept getting broken down from the test. Like it was something in the as the seasons were changing in the fall in Louisiana, whatever pollen was being released around, and it's like 1 week at a time. Like, it'd be like 1 week.
Really?
Whatever pollen was released around like 6 p.m. Like my throat would get scratchy, like it would turn red, and like I thought I had COVID. Like took the test, like no, you don't. And they're like, "Are you allergic to anything?" I was like, "No." And they're like, "Well, we think you developed allergies." And like they would give me allergy medicine, and then like it went away.
Wow, I have never heard that somebody developed allergies from taking the COVID test.
Mm-hmm. Well, at least that's what I think it is. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's what I'm saying it is.
Right.
But yeah, that season was a long season though.
I'm sure because we're talking COVID was literally just 5 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
But it seems like it was so long ago.
No, yeah, it really did. Like it seems like it almost wasn't real. Like it was, and then like it almost like wasn't.
Right. So as a college athlete, and you're going through that because like with schools, high schools across the US, they shut them down for at least a month, right?
Yeah.
So like you just get out of high school and you're like, well, wait a second. You've only been out of high school, what, 2 years? 3 years? Now you're like,
3
roughly,
years.
right?
Yeah.
And now you're in college, far away from home. And you're like, wait a second, what is going on here?
Mm-hmm.
So like, did it help you grow up a little?
Oh yeah.
Explain that.
Yeah, it really made me have to grow up, and I think like even Missouri was 8 hours from home. So like I
Right.
had started to get used to it. And then when I went to when I was at my junior college, that was 14 hours from home. And I had no car there. So like I was there, like by myself on the weekends. Like that kind of started that whole growing up transition of like being used to, hey, you're out here and like you're not going back home until like it's Christmas or Thanksgiving. So
Right.
like sit tight, figure it out, make it work. And so yeah, so that's it really did force me to grow up and just, learn how to almost survive when everything is broken down. Like completely.
Well, I mean, look, and here's what I find so you're laughing about it, but at the same time, you can see in your face, you're just like, because you didn't know if you got COVID, you're 14 hours away from mom and dad and your family. There ain't nothing they can do for you.
Mm-hmm.
It's just you. And then I'm assuming, and then you said you're around all these people who got COVID, and you're just like, okay, I'm seeing what it's doing to these people.
Mm-hmm.
So like, and even as an athlete, you're like, okay, I got nobody here. Now my nose is all jacked up from this, taking this COVID test.
Yeah, that 1 week, it's just like, what's wrong with my... Yeah.
Yeah, you're so like how does that, because at that time you're probably what, 21?
Yep, 21. Yeah.
So like how does, because we're going through this and it's showing the character that you are and why you got picked for the position you got picked for this new league, this new team. Like, how does that affect the 21-year-old's mind?
I think it just taught me how to pivot. Like nothing, like I'm just so used to things changing. It's honestly kind of more fun because other people aren't good at it. So it's just like, yeah, cool. This is changing. All right. Like this is the new thing we're doing. Like, all right, cool. We got to pivot here. Like, up, season stopped for 2 weeks. All right. Oh, we lost half the team. Like, all right, cool. Like, well, let's just put this makeshift team together and somehow make it fun and go out there. Oh, we magically got some people back. Cool. Let's roll with that and let's go play a game. Like, I think it just really taught me how to just really ebb and flow. And like, I think that's one of the things that I personally love about football is it just teaches you how to like move with the ups and downs. Like there's some things like you just can't do anything about. Like I can't help the fact that all these people got COVID and like I didn't. Like I can't help that. But it's like, what am I going to do to help? Like, okay, I can still show up. I can still do my part. Like the guys that need to get brought along, let's bring them along as best as we can and, keep moving forward. And, I think as I look across and like back at my journey, it really helped prepare me for what I had to go do in 2022 when I ended up transferring to the University of Findlay, in which that team had 11 true freshmen starting on it, with one being my younger brother. But that was a team where it's like, we got to somehow teach these guys like how to play this game, how to grow up. And like, they're all true freshmen.
Right.
Like, I had a year into college lifting and then I played. Like they're all thrown in the heat of the moment. And like, there's things where it's like, I want to do this, but we can't do it because you're just not even at the mental level yet. Like my youngest brother, who's a true freshman at the time, was our number one wide receiver. So it's like everything we're doing, like we're kind of teaching him. I'm kind of teaching him week to week. Like we're learning on the fly, like in the game sometimes. And so I think a lot of that really stems back to when you go to COVID and it's like, all right, mind you, we haven't won a game. And it's like, I'm trying to win a starting job for a team that hasn't won a game. Like, that's kind of crazy when you think about it. Like, I have to go out and motivated. So I'm the quarterback. I have to be motivated. I have to lead people who also don't want to be there because we haven't won a game. Mind you, it also is COVID at the same time.
Yeah, like, you're still in the COVID thing.
It's just like, but I think it just, it just kind of taught me, just to no matter what, just like let's just keep going. Let's keep rolling with it. Like there's always a way. If we have to pivot, then we pivot and we go from
So
there. Sorry if you hear my dog drinking
no,
water.
it's all good. I saw your dog getting up, walking around. So do you think that year at COVID at Louisiana Monroe, do you think that is what helped you become the leader for when you went to, what was it, Finley, right?
Mm-hmm.
But do you think that is what the ups and the downs of COVID, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that's what actually made you the leader you are today? Or did it help enhance for you to become even a better
Yeah,
leader?
I think it helped enhance, and I think it kind of helped enhance and also helped me grow up and mature in like different ways. You know, just within myself personally, especially with like just confidence. Because like I said, like it's tough to be confident when it's like, man, we're still losing, and it's like, man, we're still losing, and like I'm not even getting a chance. Like that's a tough, like that's a tough thing to be like. You know, at some point, it's like you look in the mirror, and it's like, do I suck or like, and have I been like drinking the Kool-Aid? Like did I get like because you know I'm one of those people like I'm very realistic. Like if I got beat out because I got beat out, I
Mm-hmm.
take the cap. Like that is what it is. I got beat. I can live with that. But like if that's not the case, then it's like it almost kind of makes you go insane a little bit. So I think it really did like help forge and grow me just to really grow and like mature just over that time to just keep myself mentally in it and you know just to honestly just keep going really.
Well, because I'm going to go back to something you said. When you go to Finley, you transfer to Finley, right?
Mm-hmm.
You said hadn't won a game. Arlington, I know. I completely. I had a mess up. I'll tell you later on this. Uh, you had a. You go to Finley. You'd already been through all the troubles with COVID. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then you start. You said you had to start training the younger guys because you had 11 true freshmen.
Mm-hmm.
11 true freshmen that you had.
Yeah.
Like, how is that when you're like, okay, I went through this, now I'm here, we haven't won a game, you're training these guys, like, how does that all transpire? Because you have a coaching staff,
Mm-hmm.
but now you guys are all trying to learn on the fly.
Yeah, you know it's just kind of one of those, well here I'll get to that, but um yeah, it was from going to ULM, and there's a kind of a middle part too that you missed because there's a year in between where I don't play at ULM, in which I think
Correct.
that was the year I think would say that kind of forged a lot of who I am now, and just learning how to play the game from off the field and just really mentally stay in it. You know, when I'm not doing anything, you know, at all. But but yeah, but going into then Finley, you know, I think there's a lot of nuances just like to the game. You know, there's things that you see in spring ball. There were guys that we thought were going to come back that did not come back and that were there in spring ball that weren't there when the season started. So it was kind of a, you know, a really interesting situation. Like, wow, like, look, everything's happening. Like, yeah, things are good. Like, I won the job. I don't suck at football. Like, I'm just blessed to be practicing at this point because I wasn't even practicing when I was at ULM, like, in that second year. And so everything was good, you know, great. And then it was just like things just kind of slowly started like falling to pieces. And then, you know, you kind of get to a point where it's like, all right, like we really have to train up these true freshmen, but there's just so many nuances to the game. You know, like I said earlier, you don't know what you don't know till you don't know. Like it's all of that stuff that like you have to teach. And it's like you can't teach it until it happens.
Right.
And it's like, so that's kind of, you know, the thing, you know, even with my brother, like just on a simple go route, like understanding when he does this, you do this, and if you do this, I'll understand what you're doing, and then we'll go from there. Like we actually scored on there was like a 40-yard touchdown because in the game in Fly, he was like, yeah, he keeps doing this. I was like, okay, next time he does it, just run right past him, throw your hand up, and I'll see you, and I'll know what you're doing, and then just look up. And then he did that exactly, and then we scored a touchdown. Like it would literally be stuff like that. Like,
So what was it? Because it probably been a while since you played football with your little brother.
the first time.
Okay. So
Well, actually, I take that back. Elementary school, when I was in 5th grade and he was in kindergarten at recess, he would be on my team. That was the last time that we played together.
Well, okay, so you're at college. So like it was probably a proud moment for mom and dad.
Oh yeah. I mean the Hunt family was very, very proud of us too at that time. But yeah, that was probably the greatest moments in football. And like especially that one moment I talked about, like that
Right.
was the first game he scored and he had 2 touchdown passes that game.
I
And
wonder who threw those to him.
yeah. It's actually kind of funny because one of them was it was like 7 seconds left before half, and I convinced our coach to throw a fade ball because we would have enough time, and we were like right in front of the end zone. Like, yeah, we can kick a field goal. We'll have time. Like, it'll be a quick fade ball, and we had no time left after the fade ball was thrown. So if I didn't complete it, like that was halftime.
Or you'd been sitting come the second half.
No, I just really got an earful though. Like he definitely and like I would have went to him and just been like, I'm sorry, like but I will make it back up. I promise. But throwing that one when he caught that first one, and then we came back and had that adjustment, and then he caught that one. I mean, that was like, like I was trying, not to be like embarrassing. Like it's a whole game going on, and I'm trying not to cry. Like I'm throwing my brother touchdowns, like in a real college game. Like this is unbelievable. Like I had no it was definitely like that season and like that stretch of games, because then he went on to have like I think 2 touchdown catches within the next 2 games, like 2 each game, and so yeah, it was a cool moment.
See, I love that because not a lot of people get to experience that with a sibling.
That was the coolest part about it, and then just being able to like kind of coach him, and just for us as like brothers to kind of bond, like that was cool. Like re-seeing him, because he was always just like my annoying younger brother, but like kind of seeing him grow up a little bit, and then be in college, and we sometimes be out, and just seeing him sometimes would always be funny. But that was definitely one of my favorite experiences playing football though, for sure. But it was definitely a tough time though. It was a great time, but it was a tough time because we started that season 1-4. And there was a game. The first game we lost, I think, by 4 points or something super close. And then there was another game that we lost on a last second play. And so like we really should have been 3-2 at that point, and we were 1-4. So it was kind of tough. And then like just as a team, we just kind of decided to come together, and we were like, hey, these last 6, that's all that matters. 6-0 with 6 to go. Like that was our mantra. And then we won the last 6 of our games and ended up beating our rivals at their place on their senior night. And then they didn't end up winning the championship. And so, and like it was snowing all over the place. And like, I think that was my best football game like ever. Especially the last drive. But yeah, so that was a very trying season. But a lot of that really did stem from ULM and just the things that I had to learn, and like just how to just continue to pivot. And like, okay, what do we do? How do we help our team win? Like I literally sat down with my head coach and OC, and like we had a conversation where we put everything on the table, what's wrong, what we don't like. And I mean, like I laid everything out. Like I held back nothing. I was like, I don't like this. I think you're leaving me out to dry. Blah 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 blah. And I was like, I think we need to be doing this because like we can't cover this, and it's just like how do we make all this work? Because
But
like
see,
I just want to win, you know, and yeah, and we worked it all out and ended up winning the last six.
now, okay, as you see, I've built this all up to something.
Yeah.
Now we get to the Continental Football League.
Yeah.
In the Texas Syndicate. I asked Braylon, I asked Trey, I've asked Quincy. This is a league that has not proven itself.
Not yet.
Not yet. But if you look at everything, it shows that it could work, and you talk to the people, it could work. So here you are. I mean, you got it right here. Mr. Morris is going. I can't wait to work with you, bro.
Yes, sir. Can't wait to get with you too, dog.
So now we're with the syndicate.
Mm-hmm.
You're there. You guys are starting to build the franchise and the community up, right?
Yeah.
What is it from all of that past that you had? The ups and the downs and all of that. What is it that you're bringing to the syndicate that nobody knows? Ooh, I stumped you.
Passion.
Okay.
I think from my years of playing this game and this lovely journey that college football brought me, which I'm sure a lot of people have been on a very similar journey with the NCAA. It's just like I've learned to love this game in a way that's almost kind of like toxic in a sense because I give way more than it gives me. But I think that's the thing that makes this game great because over the years, I never realized how much it was actually giving me just in like terms of life and like growth and just like what it brings like to a community. And even when I was in arena ball, seeing the small impact that it had, it was just like, I think this is something that like more than just a sport, like, people need, like people in these towns need, like there's a lot of people that have journeys that are not like everyone else's. Like I've had a very interesting journey that a lot of people don't necessarily know because it doesn't always look like that. And I think having a league like this will kind of bring more light to guys that have similar journeys because a lot of us are going to be playing in this league. We had the odd COVID times, might have had an injury, had things happen. I had stuff with compliance officers, like it just things that happen to a lot of athletes that like a lot of people don't realize. And then they're like, oh, what happened to this guy? And then it's like, it's nothing. And it's like, well, that's because there hasn't been anything that's there. And so, I'm really hoping that this league sticks around and holds its weight because I think it's something that a lot of people really need. And like even a lot of athletes, like just to have a league like this, like I think it's something that could be huge.
Well, and you say this sense of community.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I'm going to go all the way back to Central Missouri.
Yeah.
In that little bitty town of Union, Missouri. But they literally will basically shut that town down for one of your guys' home games.
Yeah.
Because that's all that's there is those days for football.
Mm-hmm.
So like you've already kind of been in that arena, so you kind of know what to expect from it.
Yeah.
Now, you're here. You're the guy. If I'm not mistaken, you were the first guy that they signed.
Yes, sir.
Right. So now, Quincy, Ned. Now I don't mean to be putting a lot on you right now.
That's
but
all right.
You're the guy. You're 6'3", 230. You're a big quarterback. You can run. You can throw. What is it as the leader? Because you're gonna have to be the leader of the guys on the field, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Some guys may have more experience than you or whatever. But how are you going to say, guys, this is what we got to do? We got to do it. How are you going to express that to them as the guy on the field, as QB1?
My leadership style is kind of just very much so me. I go with the ebb and flow of how the moment and how the situation is. When it's time to be serious, like I always bring up the huddle right before, and like the first thing I say to everyone is like, "Hey, let's lock in, let's get our job done, let's be crisp, clean, but also let's go kick some A's so we can get off the field really quickly." Because I'm like, I'm gonna go get some water, like, and I think it's just about, for me personally, it's just about being myself. And it's just, we understand what we're out here to do. We're out here to get a job done. And what a lot of people and a lot of my teammates will see is that, like, I'm very cool until, like, it's time to be serious. And then I kind of become, sometimes the not the most fun person to be around, because I want to win and like I want to be perfect. And there's times when it's like I'm gonna continue, like I want to redo it until it's perfect. And it's like, if it's not perfect, like you're gonna hear me yell. Like I might yell at you for dropping a pass, but I also might yell at myself for missing a pass. Like I don't treat it any way differently, but it's also just because like I want to win and I want to be great and I want to look good in what I'm doing. And so I think a lot of the guys get that message across very quickly, but then it's like, I also want to have a lot of fun, because like I'm the kind of person where I can wake up at 5 a.m. ready to crack jokes. Like I got jokes for days. At any time, any place, I would literally crack a joke and then call hike and then throw a 15-yard digger out over the middle. And then and then crack more jokes and then call the next play. Like that's the kind of person I am. Like, and so I'm not, and I say like get on guys. I'm not like one of those sergeant kind of always yelling. That's not me. I hate that. Like I absolutely hate that. But it's like, there is a time and a place, and like I am very professional when it's time to be professional. And I think guys respect that, about me, or at least they have so far. But I'm also real chill. So I think kind of having that mentality whenever we step onto the field, and like, just a constant little heartbeat. And that's me. That's how I'll get the guys to, move forward and for us to continue to move on a path. And, I don't really care what they do. Like if we huddle up and they want to crack jokes and talk, I don't care. But like when I come into the huddle to call a play, let me call the play. And then, let's get to work. And then after that, cool. Yeah. So.
Exactly. So now we have our OC in Trey Harbison, right?
Yeah.
Made it to camp with the Browns. Got a lot of knowledge, right? Have you talked to your OC yet?
I have not talked to him yet, but that is something that's actually coming up.
Okay.
Yeah, I have personally been like super busy with some things going on.
Well, I know we've been trying to schedule this interview, and then you're like, "Well, Mondays are really the best day for me."
Yeah. The job sometimes during the week makes it tough with lifting, and then you see that dog back there that he just, man. Yeah,
Well, it looks like he's wanting to go outside to go to the bathroom.
Well, no, it's because it's my neighbor's dog that keeps making like noise and stuff, and so it's a whole thing. But yeah, he's fine. Trust me, he's fine. He gets 3 walks a day. You still there?
Hold on, I'm back. Apparently, my whole system just shut down on me.
Man, you're having an old man's day.
Oh my God, you ain't lying. I am. Okay, so what kind of dog do we got back there?
We got a German Shepherd. Where is? If I call him, he's gonna get all in the camera.
Now my lights are all dark. Let me do this real quick. Give me 1 second.
Yeah.
There we go. That's much better. The joys of broadcasting live. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's tough. You don't realize.
Now, did you really think you'd be sitting on here 49 minutes later, and I really haven't asked you any football questions about who is your
influences and all that crap. Like, would you have fought that?
Actually, yeah, I don't get many questions like that. You know, people typically get the backstory because when you look at my story, you're like, all right, he's been a lot of places. Like, we gotta like ask questions about that first. Like, and then they get to then later they get to the okay, like who's your favorite? You know, then they get to the football.
Well, and I think the reason why I wanted to go the way that I wanted to go is because this is a new league, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's showing people, and it's an unproven league where a player like you, who hasn't gotten really the opportunities they got, now you get that opportunity to go out there and prove yourself. And especially it being the quarterback is the hardest position to do because you are the leader of the team.
Yep.
And you have to be the leader of the team. And I was wanting people to see the mentality that Jeremy Hunt has and why you got picked as the quarterback. So when that phone call came from Ned and Quincy, right?
Mm-hmm.
What was that like for you?
You know, it was actually kind of a weird, unexpected call, actually. I had no idea. Because Quincy and I had like talked about him like saying he wanted to start a team, but I was like, yeah, okay, cool. You know, like I just was on an arena team that didn't have the finances and it failed. Was just supposed to be on another team that didn't have the finances and failed. Clearly, finances are a huge issue. So like, okay, you know, we'll see. And then he called me and he was like, yeah, you know, like I'm serious. Like I want to do this. I want you to be my quarterback. You know, kind of at that point, oddly enough, I was in like I would still be working out, but I was like, I don't even know if I'm working out for like general health or because I want to play football. You know, like you know, like I had just started working at Boeing as a supply chain analyst, like as a contractor, and so you know, I was doing that, which is why my days are busy. But you know, I was just like after the season kind of failed, and I just worked a whole year straight to get prepared for this, and then it's like, yeah, it's not happening. It was kind of like, well, is that my sign that like it's just not meant to be, you know? And maybe it is. And then I got the job, and I was like, wow, maybe it really is. And then Quincy called me, and he was like, you know, like I like the way you play, you know, just because I play with his son. He's seen me play before. And all the events that we did with the San Antonio team, I went to because I was the only person that lived in San Antonio, and he set all of those up. And there was a time when I was like, why am I doing this? Because, you know, this is not a waste of time, but like I'm the only one here. Like, you know, why am I still going to these? But that's kind of one of the things that, you know, made him reach out and think of me. So just him kind of saying that was like, you know, well, maybe I guess this is what I'm supposed to do. And, you know, I worked out for a year, so what's in there?
Well, right, yeah, exactly. I mean, look, I mean, you're talking you're 6'3", and what are you going at right now? About 225, 230?
235 post Thanksgiving.
235 plus Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
Now,
Thanksgiving at least, yeah.
Right. Now, mind you, the season is still months and months and months away, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're still building teams. We have the entire South Division already built up, right?
Yeah.
We have the Syndicate who are building their team. Now, the Ohio Valley men, Manny, he has just announced his first player with his center returning. The Toros haven't announced any players or anything like that. You know, you were on a show called Texans Talking Football.
Yeah.
With this bum. If you notice, he copied my style. If you notice, you see that he copied my style, right?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Oh, you think you think I copied his style?
I don't know. I'm not saying anyone copied anyone. I'm just saying the style is very similar.
I know, because I mean, look, right here. I could grab my Battlehawks hat, or I could grab any one of those other hats I have over there. It's just I like the way this one looks on the TV. But the San Antonio Bums haven't gotten any players yet, right?
Not that I know of.
But I do like their logo. The Toros are pretty good, but the Syndicate logo is pretty cool. The Syndicate logo is pretty cool too.
Yeah, no, definitely.
How do you think this is going to play out? Because you have you guys, the Toros, Midland, and then the Sidewinders, all within like a 6-hour radius of each other, basically.
Yeah, I did see that. I wasn't sure. I think they just didn't want to have to travel too far to lose. So I think that's why they kept it close, so that it was not the travel didn't hit too much.
You think that's what it is? Is that San Antonio didn't want to have to lose too bad on the way home?
Yep. And then they were like, instead of starting new, let's just kind of pick up what didn't, happen. Let's just, let's just, I guess, try to rerun that.
Now, you saw in the very beginning of this, Quincy said he's at a business dinner. You two better behave yourself. I think we're starting to get we might be getting in trouble now. I think we might be. But no, like, you see this league, this Continental Football League, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of like the arena football, but it doesn't give you the opportunity to express yourself in an 11-on-11 situation, which you're used to playing, right?
Yeah.
But now there's something very interesting about the Continental Football League. It's in the fourth quarter, and it's called the Continental Shift.
Yes, which I'm really excited about that, because the couple of things that I did like about arena ball was that I felt like having the high motions was just a cheat code. And so for them to end, I would always say, if we had this in 11-on-11, like, the defense just would not stand a chance. Like you're telling me you have some of these receivers getting a 10-yard sprint downhill, and then they can interchange and move around and do all that, and then, like, it's not fair. And so when they then implemented that, and I saw that, I was like, okay, yeah, that's actually kind of super cool. So I'm really excited about it, because I think there's some cool things that can, be implemented. And then I also think it's cool because it's like now you get, Canadian film and also American film. And I was like, that's actually really smart. And I'm shocked no one ever thought about that before. And, you want your guys to get exposure, like, that's the best way. Now I have film for both leagues, I like, and so, yeah, I'm actually really excited about it. I think it's going to be really cool. I think it's going to be different having 3 downs. That's the only thing I don't like about it necessarily.
Yeah, but that's for you though.
I mean, yes and no. Sometimes I like using that 4th down. Like, I'm not afraid to, go for it on 4th down. And I'll use a 4.
Now you got to, like, let's say you're okay. Here, I'm gonna just ask an example. Okay.
Yeah.
We're in the fourth quarter. You guys are down by 4, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you're sitting at 3rd and 12. We're normally, as a quarterback, because you have the 4th down, you would run for it, right? Sure. 9 times out of 10, when you run for it just to get those extra yards and to move your punter up or whatever.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. If that's the mentality you're playing with, then yeah.
I'm just saying you see it on TV all the time, right?
Oh, you do.
Okay, but now here you are. You're sitting here at 3 and 12. What goes through Jeremy Hunt's head talking to Coach Trey? What plays run through your head? Give me like 3 or 4 of them on a 3rd and 12 that would go through your head.
4 words. I would go a backside stagger concept with something quick to the front side, just in case they do blitz to get some yards. And then I would do possibly a flood concept with a drag going backside, see if you can catch him.
Well, see, now you're talking to your guys who are getting a 10-yard head start because they're getting around up.
Well, if we're talking about that, then I'm coming up with a arena.
That's what I'm talking about. We're in the fourth quarter. You got 3 downs. You're 3rd and 12 in the fourth quarter.
Okay, I got you. So this is what we would do, right? We would start out in a 2x2 set, right? The slot receiver is going to be up, back, and then we're going to have these two down. This receiver is going to do a high motion around, and then they're going to come down together, and then they're going to do a switch, and then the inside is going to run a corner, and this guy's going to run a post. And then this third receiver right here is going to run a dig behind it with a drag that eventually goes up the field underneath.
So look, you got a drag, you got a post, all in one play.
Yep, but it's possible with the high motions because it's fast.
But yeah, with the high like how crazy is that? How crazy is that?
No, like it's insane, but it's so much fun. It's really exciting. Like just for the defense to break that down because that's guys moving around and they cross 3 different times, and then there's also a dig underneath. And then with an over that's coming across also to replace that empty spot.
So do you think your time in arena ball as a QB will help you when it comes to the continental shift in the fourth quarter? Because the concepts that you used in arena ball, now you can implement them on the continental shift portion of the fourth quarter. Like, do you think that's going to help you and give you an advantage?
Yeah, I mean, the fact that I just gave you that play off the top of my head for
that's crazy.
The fact that I think it definitely does help just to be in the mindset to be creative about it, because that is something that you never really think about all that you can really do with the different motions and things, and then just all the different types of plays that we would come up with, and all right, how many times can we cross a guy with a guy, and then just to have something else coming underneath, and the crosses are just cause and then at some point in time one guy's just free wide open because they just got lost crossing them, and so I definitely think that it'll be something that'll help out a lot, and then just kind of keep us in a creative mindset, and work together.
See, I love that. All right, Jeremy, look, I know that I messed up. We're already in an hour. I told you we'd go about an hour. I see your dog keeps walking back to that door because it seems like they want to go outside. Tell people where they can find you at on all your social medias and why they should give the Continental Football League a chance.
Okay, so for my social media, I really have to start remembering this. I'm really never on social media except for the one time in the day when I get on to check everything, and then I'm off for the day. But to why that people should tune in to the Continental Football, I think it's just a great opportunity, not just for us, but for the fans. There's a lot of things going on where fans can actually get a stake in teams and end up owning a percentage of teams, and being a part owner, of the team. And so I think that's something that's super unique in a way for fans to be engaged, because there's nothing like caring when you have money involved. People really care when you got money on the line. And so I just think that it'll make those games matter that much more. Like you said, there's a lot of teams in a 6-hour radius. If you have fans that care, it makes those games that much more interesting and that much more packed and exciting. And it's that's what we want. We want to go out there and put the best show for you all possible, but we also want to play in front of you guys. That helps. So I think that was something that was super cool, just on my part, because it was something that I never heard of a league doing. Fans have, not you get to, but they have to. It's not even a question of if they get to or not. They have to.
Right, yeah, they have to now. All right, Jeremy, We're gonna have to get you back on the show.
Yeah.
When it's me and Arlington. Because I think he's a little perturbed with me because, like I said, Jeremy, will you please tell everybody that I forgot that we had this schedule until you reminded me at 6:45 and I checked my phone at 7:15.
Yeah, no, literally, I got home at 6:45. I was like, huh, I don't see anything. Like, are we still talking tonight? You were like, oh, snap. It would up on my calendar. I was like, there it is. It's okay.
Right. All right, Jeremy, we're going to have to get you back on again. Thank you for joining me tonight here on Outlaw Sports Talk. Hey, you got to do me one favor.
Okay.
The first game that you play against San Antonio, you got to have a Central Missouri game.
Oh, man.
Where you drop a 4-dimer on them and 4 touchdowns on them.
Trust me. I aim to have that game every game. I've been trying to have that game since that game.
Because I don't want to have to make that 12-hour drive down there for you guys to lose that game.
No, we're not going to lose. Listen, I might not have the 4-4, but we're not going to lose.
You got to have a Central Missouri game.
Trust me, they're coming back. They're coming back.
All right, man. Thank you for joining me. You have an open door policy. We'll get you on the X-Fan show. So then you can really get a crazy interview because then it's me and Arlington yelling back and forth at each other as we interview the guest. I mean,
perfect.
It's really entertaining.
Then you'll see how cool I really am.
Oh, is that how it works?
Yeah. Cool.
Well, he's younger than me. He's younger than me. Still older than you, but younger than me.
Yeah, everyone's still older than me.
All right, Jeremy, thank you for joining me, brother. I appreciate it, and you have a great night.
Yep, you have a good one. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, no worries. All right, this is the Outlaw Sports Show. I'm Spurge. I will see you guys next week.